Okay, this is a couple more examples of different types of worm farms for the larger operation. This is just 3 standard size pine sleepers. Gives us about an 8x4 area. We put a bit of black poly underneath and put the worms in there and the manure, cover it with a bit of a shade cloth. On that one I've actually got a little pipe sticking through the end and a bucket in the ground so it can actually catch the leachate as it comes out. They're very effective. All I've got here is a piece of about 3 feet of 1.5-inch poly pipe, drilled a few holes in it, made a little hole at the bottom end of the tank, laid it in there, and as we can see I've got a bucket down here, and what we've got here is a bucket full of worm leachate that could go straight on the garden.
David, why would you have plastic here instead of letting it go to the...
Okay, because it's a more efficient way. It does stop some of the worms wandering out into the neighbouring area. But when you've got them in numbers like me, I don't normally worry about it. But we're actually setting this up because we're about to do a contract with a large hotel conference centre, taking all their food scraps, and we actually want to run a trial here to just see how long it's going to take us to process all their food waste. So we're doing it in a more controlled area than the open windrow.
So normally this would have more compost in it with the worms.
Yeah, this is waiting. That's only just been put in to keep the things down. As soon as I start taking delivery from the convention centre, that'll be full of their food waste. Anything like this with just an old tank, throw all your food scraps as well as your manures and things in there. Similar sort of concept to the bath. It's good. The problem with that is getting the stuff out from underneath. You've really got to take the whole lot out and turn it over to get it. Or just simple like we've got there, large long heaps of manure. We put the worms in. Once we think it's nearly eaten, make a bed on top. The worms will come up out of the big beds into the small beds. A lot easier to harvest them. And what I'm finding with these, that I can harvest the worms out of those beds, put fresh manure, and it'll replenish itself again within a couple of months. And some of those beds I've harvested 6 or 7 times and they're still producing. Because each time we take the worms out, there's eggs left behind and they hatch, and away we go again. So it's a very economical way of growing a lot of worms in a short time. Yes, you need to have the toilet part itself elevated, or the other deep out into the ground, so you've got a drop system, and then a pipe going up for ventilation, and some type of be able to take the finished stuff out from the bottom. But same process, yeah. Yeah, and people think, oh, I know what it smells, but obviously they don't, because they have them in houses.